Thousands of flood victims were evacuated to this holding camp. They say they were promised large plots to farm crops of their choice. But barely 5 months later, the camp was closed and the people were forced to go to so-called resettlement areas. Here, families were given 1 hectare each. They say the land is hot and arid, and without compensation, they're struggling to rebuild their lives. She says, "We have no money to build proper shelter. We queue for hours to draw bitter water at the boreholes. 1 hectare is too small to keep animals, and because there's no rainwater, we can't grow food. And our children are sick with diarrhea and people are dying of malaria."
What kind of a government moves us 3 times and then leaves us in a place with no basic necessities? We have become destitute.
The plight of
the Human Rights Watch's 57-page report, Homeless, Landless and Destitute, found their ordeal to be far from over.
The land onto which the Tokwe-Mukosi people have been resettled forcibly is disputed land. Nuanesi Ranch is claimed to be owned by private companies, Nuanesi Private Company Limited, but there is also the Development Trust of Zimbabwe, which also claims to have title deeds to that land. It is controlled by the ZANU-PF presidency.
The watchdog says that government has confirmed that these farmers will be forced to grow sugarcane for a planned government ethanol project. It's called on government to provide aid to victims without conditions attached and to compensate them fairly for the losses suffered. The relevant government ministers were not available to comment. Shingai Nyoka, SABC News, Harare, Zimbabwe.